Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Conestee Park, home of the Bob Jones University Bruins. Today's game features the Carolina University Bruins and your Bob Jones University Bruins. At this time, it is time to introduce your starting lineups. First for Carolina University. Number 3, Dion Tubbs. Number 10, Josh Kent. Number 6, Logan Conklin. Number 20, Dart Hawthorne. Number 25, Kevin Greenwood. Number 18, Grant Harris. Number 12, Brian Deegan. Number 15, Matt Tullock. Number 4, Avery Adams. And on the mound, number 8, Caleb Whitaker. And now it's time for your Bob Jones University Bruins starting lineup. Batting first and playing center field, number 5, Riley Ramsey. Batting second and playing left field, number 36, Colby Hogan. Batting third and playing right field, number 37, David Twinney. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 14, Zach Burke. Batting fifth and behind the plate, number 12, Daniel Barcena. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 38, Cole Pearson. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 9, Conley Burke. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 29, Daniel Wood. And batting ninth, your designated hitter, number 11, Adrian Lasval. And on the mound for your Bob Jones University Bruins, number 24, Henry Wallach. At this time, we ask that you please stand for a word of prayer followed by our national anthem. Father God, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for allowing us to worship you through the avenue of sports. We thank you for allowing everyone to travel here safely today, and we ask for the continuing safety of all of our athletes, coaches, officials, and spectators during this event. May we worship you in everything we do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Welcome out to Conestee Park here in Greenville, South Carolina. We are live for Game 1 of our two-game doubleheader featuring the Battle of the Bruins. Carolina University Bruins out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, facing off against your BJU Bruins. Game 1 of the series taking place last night right here at Conestee in a back-and-forth contest. The Bruins of BJU finding themselves down early, and early by a lot. Score ended up being around 15-4, and it looked like Carolina was going to cruise to the victory, but Bob Jones scoring 7. Yes, you heard that right. 7 runs at the bottom of the 9th inning to battle back, but the deficit proved too much to overcome as they fell 15-11 by final score in that game. So hoping to get the bats going a little bit earlier today. Again, two-game series about to get underway. You heard the starting lineups just moments ago. Henry Wallach on the mound for the Bruins. And again, although the Bruins are winless on the season, Henry has been a stable piece in the pitching rotation for the Bruins. And still the team looking for that elusive first win of the 2022 season. Daniel Barcena behind the mound, and it's Riley Ramsey in center field, Colby Hogan in left, David Twitty in right, Zach Burke at first. As I said, Barcena behind the plate, Cole Pearson at third, Conley Burke at short, Daniel Wood at second, Adrian Lasval is the designated hitter. Deon Tubbs, the center fielder for Carolina, will get things going. And again, throughout this broadcast, just to not confuse people with Bruins and Bruins, we will do Carolina and then just calling the BJU Bruins your Bruins. So that'll be that designation. Carolina in the white pinstripe jerseys today. Bruins in their sandstone blue and tan jerseys for Game 1. Wallach, this one bunted into foul territory. And so a very quick 0-2 count in the top of the first here as Wallach gets ahead in the count 0-2. That's one thing about last night's matchup. Zach Burke was on the hill to start, and he shut down Carolina 1-2-3 in that first inning. This one chopped towards second base. Going to be a tough play over to first in time, and that will be out number 1 of the afternoon. Daniel Wood going to his left to secure it and send it over to Burke for the first out. That'll bring up shortstop Josh Kent. This one ripped into the right field gap. Going to be a tough play. That one's going to get all the way to the wall. Chasing it down is Twitty on the relay, but that's going to be a stand-up double for Josh Kent. Takes that first pitch and rips it to the right field wall. And that's the first batter on base for Carolina here in the top of the first. Again, sometimes it can pay dividends to be aggressive early on, especially sometimes pitchers can take those first couple of innings to see in terms of their stuff, what is working, what's not working. And that time, Josh Kent jumping on that first pitch. Logan Conklin, the DH, now up for Carolina. Kent takes his lead at second. Wallach stretches and delivers, and that one's going to find its way back into the seats. So Wallach ahead in the count 0-1. Really busy day in Bruins action today. The two basketball teams competing for the South Region Championship down in Jacksonville, Florida. The women's team will take on Pensacola Christian College at 1 o'clock tip-off. And then the men's team will take on Johnson University of Florida in a 4 o'clock tip-off. So both of those games and webcast links online on our website at bjubruins.com. And I tell you, I won't judge you if you have both streams up at the same time, especially as the women's game gets going here in about a half hour. Wallach stretches and delivers. This one hit into the right field gap. That one's going to carry. Twitty trying to make a play on it. He's not going to be able to get it. And it gets all the way to the wall once again. That is going to bring a runner around to score. And that'll be the first run of the game, courtesy of a double from Logan Conklin, as Carolina has a 1-0 lead. Dart Hawthorne, the right fielder, takes his place in the batter's box. Bruins have an early 1-0 hole. Again, team 0-5 on the season in just their second season of intercollegiate competition. Wallach working out of the stretch. This one chopped towards shortstop. Burke over to first. Burke to Burke. And that's the second out of the inning for the Bruins. Good job by Henry Wallach to come right back. Again, a lot of times, especially early on, as a pitcher, you have got to be disciplined to think about the next batter and not the previous batter. Because if you think about that previous one, oftentimes you can make an additional mistake or dig yourself into a further hole. So good job by Henry coming back, trusting his stuff. And good job by Conley to get the second out of the inning. This one low and outside, beginning the count to Kevin Greenwood. 1 ball, no strikes. Wallach, this one chopped towards third base, but is going to get into foul territory. One ball and 1 strike on Greenwood. This one ripped towards shortstop, and Burke had it in his glove, and then it pops out. So that is going to go as a hit, as Kevin Greenwood with a line drive. And again, Conley had slid to his left to grab it and had made what appeared to be a line drive catch, but it just popped out of the glove as he was moving to his left. So another run coming around for Carolina. It's 2-0 here in the top of the first. And again, the Bruins last night found themselves in an early hole and had to try to bounce back from it. So it's not necessarily that the team isn't going to stop Carolina from scoring, but they definitely have to get the bats going earlier today than they did last night. Bruins battling all the way back, scoring 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. But it wasn't enough, as the final score was 15-11. Carolina taking game 1 of the 3-game series. Again, first of 2 here today, 2 7-inning games. And again, it's free admission out here at the ballpark. A little bit brisk today, so if you're planning to come out for the 3:30 game, maybe bring a jacket with you, as we got a nice breeze going left to right here and kind of coming back in. So that should help the pitchers in terms of the wind keeping that ball up a little bit. It's a pretty steady breeze coming right at us from center field. It's going to be a ball outside. 2 balls, 1 strike here against Grant Harris, the third baseman for Carolina. Wallach delivers the breaking ball, and Barcena can't handle that one as it's bouncing around, but he did a good job of blocking that one in front. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the first. This one skied towards left field. Should be playable out there for Colby Hogan. He settles under it, and that'll end the inning. Carolina gets 2 on the board. Bruins get their first opportunity at bat. Bottom of the first coming up. Bottom of the first here at Conestee Park. Riley Ramsey will get things going for the Bruins as his cut at the first outside fastball is a strike. Carolina getting 2 on the board. It was a double by Josh Kent, and then Logan Conklin bringing home Kent for the first run, and then Carolina able to get another one as well. So 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. And again, Bruins trying to get those bats going a little earlier than they did yesterday. They were able to manage 13 different hits over the course of the game, but a majority of those hits coming in the late stages, particularly the 9th inning. Riley Ramsey looping this one, right center field, and that's going to find its way down. Ramsey on his horse, going to second base, and he's going to slide in safely. So a leadoff double for Riley Ramsey into that right center field gap. Not a whole lot of power on that one, but a great placement for Riley Ramsey.
Number 36, Colby Hogan.
Colby Hogan, the left fielder, coming up for the Bruins now to try to keep this momentum going early on here in the first. Can you just... Colby Hogan, that fastball finding the outside corner, strike one. And now Hogan down in the count 0-2 after a swinging at the off-speed pitch there. Pitch upstairs that time. Caleb Whitaker getting the start for Carolina today. That pitch upstairs trying to get him to chase. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Whitaker still ahead in the count. Comes back, and good job by Hogan to stay alive that time. Still 1-2. And this one chopped towards third base. Going to be a difficult play. Throws over to first, and he's there. Colby Hogan beating it out. Good effort. Running up that first base line. Again, it was going to be a challenging play on that third base side from Grant Harris. A slow roller, and Harris having to throw across his body. So great job there from Colby Hogan, just digging it out.
David Twitty.
Now David Twitty coming up for the Bruins. With Zach Burke on deck, the Bruins runners at first and third. They trail 2-0 here in Game 1 of this 2-game doubleheader to round out the series against Carolina. Whitaker stretches fastball on that outside corner. Not going to find that outside corner, though, as the count moves to 1-0. Still no outs here in the bottom of the first. Hogan on first, Ramsey on third. Kind of a hit and run. This one's going to be a pop fly towards second base, and so Twitty's the first out of the inning. Not a bad idea, though, if that was an intentional hit and run opportunity, as
now batting, number 14,
you had
Zach Burke.
You had that right side of the infield that was starting to shift over to account for the runner breaking towards second. And so potential to drive in Ramsey and or move Hogan to third, and or, again, depending on where it is in the field, potentially score Hogan as well. Zach Burke will come up for the Bruins now, the first baseman. Again, he had a tough day on the mound yesterday in the first couple of innings as Carolina was able to get on the board. And again, the issue the Bruins have found themselves in a couple of times this season is not that their defense has allowed runs, but it's that their offense has not been able to produce any runs or hits And so sometimes that can dig yourself into an early 5-0, 6-0 hole, and it just makes it that much harder for your pitcher to keep battling back when he's not getting the offensive support. So good to see the Bruins getting 2 runners on here on second and third. That one high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Single would likely score 2. Burke going to chop this one down third base line. That drifts foul. Balls and 1 strike here in the bottom of the first. Barcena on deck. The 2-1. Finding the heart of the plate. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the first. Burke going to foul this one off. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Zach Burke. Thought that was a 3-2 count. Instead it was a 2-2 count, so now a full count. Here in the bottom of the first, runners on second and third. And Burke swinging at that one, fouls it off. Chop towards the first base side. And a little bit of a bobble, and Burke is going to be on first. It was Caleb Whitaker who went over for the slow roller and
number 12,
attempted to
Barcena.
glove it, and instead was not able to corral it with the hand, so he tried to flip it over to first, but it is going to be the first run of the inning for the Bruins, so they trail 2-1 here in the bottom of the first. Daniel Barcena with the opportunity to give the Bruins back even here and/or help them take the lead if he's able to bring Burke around from first. Ball 1 on the outside. One outside once again. So 2 balls and no strikes. Barcena ahead of the count. Runners on first and third are scored 2-1 here with 1 out in the bottom of the first. Off-speed pitch finds the strike zone this time. 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 to Barcena. That one outside. Oh, he called that a strike. So I believe we have a 2-2 count now. Yeah, Barcena going to sky this one into foul territory. That'll find its way out of the ballpark. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And And this time going to foul it once again, out of play. Count remains 2-2. First runners on first and third. One out. Whitaker delivers. This one chopped towards second base. Opportunity for a double play. Back over to first. It's going to be in time. 4-6-3 double play, and that'll end the inning. Our score going into the second. Carolina on top, 2-1.
Now batting number 12, Brian Deegan.
Brian Deegan will lead things off for Carolina here in the top of the second. Carolina with a 2-1 advantage here in inning number 2. Bruins able to get one back in the bottom of the first. Riley Ramsey started things off with a double and then eventually came around to score off a hit from Zach Burke. So it'll be 7-8-9 for Carolina here in the second inning. Again, Wallach did a good job at the first batter to get him out in the top of the first, as this fly ball from Deegan is corralled by Riley Ramsey, first out of the inning. And it's a quick one.
Now batting number 15, Matt Tulloch.
So bring up catcher Matt Tulloch. As I said before, first of 2 games here today. We'll have them both right here for you on our Facebook stream as well as on YouTube. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us on a sunny, well, partly cloudy afternoon here at Conestee Park. This one chopped towards third base. That's going to find its way into foul territory. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Strike 2 called. Wallach getting ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the second. Again, Bruins fans would encourage you to have, if you're watching on a laptop, have a couple of different browsers open, as the ladies basketball game for the South Region Championship down in Jacksonville, Florida, getting underway at about 1 o'clock is the scheduled tip-off time. They're taking on Pensacola Christian College, a tough matchup for the Lady Bruins, as they fell in both matchups to Pensacola this year. This one fouled off, and it's going to find its way into the seats. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the second. That one low and outside, trying to get Tulloch to chase. So that'll be a full count now. The 3-2 from Wallach. This one fouled off towards the first base side. Burke going to have to look up into the bleachers, and that'll go all the way out. Tulloch stays alive in the count. It's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the second. Coming back with the off-speed pitch, and that one low and outside, so Tulloch going to be on board. And that'll bring up second baseman Avery Adams.
Now batting for Avery Adams.
Wallach working out of the stretch. Off-speed pitch is below Daniel Barcena, but he's able to corral it right at his feet, so Tulloch won't advance. Our score 2-1 here at Conestee Park. Carolina getting 2 in the top of the first. Bruins getting 1 in the bottom. And now Carolina with a runner on first, 1 out. Wallach trying to find that outside corner once again. 1 ball, 1 strike. Or excuse me. Should be 2 balls. No, 1 ball, 1 strike. That's right. And 1 out. This one roped down that first base side, but going to find its way into the seats. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the second. Top of the order coming up for Carolina. This one chopped towards the third base side. Over to second in time. Going to be a tough play over to first. And they weren't going to get it in time anyways. And actually that one going off of Avery Adams on the relay. I have been in those situations before, and that hurts. Taking one to the shin or the side of the leg. Those little baseballs can give you some bruises, and I think Avery Adams might have one on his leg tomorrow after that one. They do get 1 in the relay, so out at second, 2 outs, and the top of the order in Dion Tubbs coming up. Wallach gets ahead in the count. No balls, 1 strike. 2 outs and a 2-1 score here in the second inning. Trying to show bunt that time. And pickoff move over to first. Adams getting a good lead, and he's going to go. Barcena trying to rifle it down to second. This one actually going to find its way into center field. So Adams steals second. Swinging strike. Got him. Strike 3. And that'll end the inning. Carolina gets one stranded on second, but our score going to the bottom of the second, 2-1 here at Conestee. Cole Pearson will get things started for the Bruins here in the bottom of the second. Our score 2-1.
Number 38, Cole Pearson.
Our score 2-1 here at Conestee in the bottom of the second inning. Again, game 1 of our 2-game doubleheader that we'll have right here for you on our Facebook and YouTube channels. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in on this Saturday afternoon. This one chopped towards shortstop. Josh Kent moving to his right. A great dig over at first base by Kevin Greenwood.
Now batting.
Got that one into the breadbasket.
Burke.
A great play by Josh Kent at short and an even better scoop by Kevin Greenwood, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Conley Burke now takes his first at-bat for the Bruins. That off-speed pitch going to find the strike zone. So Whitaker is ahead in the count 0-1. Breaking ball trying to go in once again. This one hitting the outside corner, but not a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out here in the second. Burke going to rope this one into left field. And unfortunately for Burke, Deegan was right there to secure the line drive and the out.
Now batting, number 29, Daniel Wood.
Daniel Wood, the second baseman, taking his first cut of the afternoon. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second, 2 quick outs here for the Bruins. And they've been aggressive on the bats, but unfortunately have not been able to put anybody aboard this inning. The wind has died down here a little bit at Conestee, and it's actually turned into a pretty pleasant afternoon. We're supposed to have mid-50s out here at the ballpark. No threat of rain until way later this evening, so if you're watching the webcast here in the upstate, hey, make your plans to join us out here at Conestee either today or we have a slew of home games coming up, including next weekend in a 3-game series against Toccoa Falls College right here at Conestee. And again, as I've said several times on the broadcast before, all games are free admission this season. So bring the family out. We've got a great concession stand set up. It's a great Saturday activity for you and your family. Got a beautiful park right across the street from the baseball stadium, as well as walking trails around here. Just a lot of things to do out here at Conestee. This one fouled into the bleachers. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the second inning. And Daniel Wood taking a extra cut here after the pitcher taking a little too long in his estimation. Wood popping this one, jammed on the inside of his bat. So 1, 2, 3 go the Bruins to the bottom of the second. We go to the third. Same score, 2-1.
Now batting number 10, Josh Kent.
Josh Kent leading things off here in the top of the third for Carolina. They have a 2-1 advantage here in game one of our two-game doubleheader. They got 2 runs in the top of the first. Bruins were able to battle back and get 1 in the bottom of the first, and we had a scoreless second inning. So we start inning number 3. Henry Wallach still on the mound for the Bruins. Breaking ball. That is going to be a strike, so 2 balls and 1 strike. I apologize if you can hear some wind on my microphone. Right as I said, the wind had dropped down. It decided to kick back up in between innings, so a little breezy. You might be able to see it on your webcast screen there, right out beyond center field. We do have a flagpole with the American flag and the South Carolina state flag, and it's blowing pretty hard to the right. Wallach trying to come back on the 2-2, and that'll be low and in the dirt. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Breaking ball ripped down the first base line, and that's going to be in foul territory. Count remains at 3-2. And this one chopped towards the right center field gap. Riley Ramsey trying to make a play on it. He'll get there in time and records the out. Logan Conklin, the DH, sent one near the wall last time up to bring around the first runner for Carolina. One out. Here in the top of the third, this one roped down the first base side. That's going to find its way into the Bruins bullpen on that far side. Wallach trying to go downstairs and outside, and that one getting past Barcena. One ball, one strike. This one ripped towards shortstop, and this time Conley Burke securing it and keeping it in possession. And that'll be the second out of the inning. That'll bring out Dart Hawthorne. And this one pops straight up. And actually, some miscommunication for the Bruins infield, as Henry Wallach had settled under it at first, and then Zach Burke looked to call him off. And so Wallach kind of backed away, and then Burke backed away as well. And unfortunately, an opportunity for the Bruins to get out of the inning, and instead results in an error and allows Hawthorne to get to first. This one ropes towards third base. Twitty will secure it, and that'll end the inning. 2-1 our score as we go to the bottom of the third here at Conestee.
Number 11, Adrian Lasval.
Adrian Lasval will lead things off for the Bruins here in the third. So it's 9-1-2 for the Bruins. As the count as the count is 2-0 for Lasval here to begin the third. If you're just joining us, Carolina getting 2 in the first. Bruins striking back with 1 in the bottom of the first, but since then, we have been scoreless. So it's 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. Game 1 of our 2-game doubleheader here at Conestee Park. 3-game series. Of course, the Bruins falling last night to Carolina University. 15-11 was the final score there. The Bruins were down 15-4 going into the ninth, and then the Bruins scored 7 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning. But the comeback fell short. 15-11 was the final. Adrian Lasval striking out, swinging that time. And that'll be the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the top of the order in Riley Ramsey. Ramsey started things off in the top of the first.
Ramsey.
Bottom of the first, where Ramsey was able to line it into right center field, eventually coming away with the double and the only run for the Bruins as well, as he scored later on in the inning. This one upstairs, ball 1. One out here in the third. This one fouled into the seats. This one upstairs once again. Swinging strike. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the third. Ramsey chopping this one. Whitaker knocking it down. He's able to chase it down and then throw it over to first in time for out number 2.
Now batting.
Colby Hogan.
36, Colby Hogan.
Takes his next at bat for the Bruins. And this one skied up towards the shortstop. And Kent able to settle under it. And again, Bruins going down 1-2-3 in the inning. We'll go to the top of the fourth. Our score 2-1 here at Conestee. Top of the fourth here at Conestee Park. And this one roped into right field as Grant Harris goes after the first pitch, and he is going to line a single into right field. So that'll start things off for Carolina here in the fourth. Brian Deegan now takes his next at bat. We will try to keep you up to date as well as what's going on in the women's game. This bunt going to be fouled down the third base side.
I don't know anything about Louisiana. I've driven through Louisiana, and every gas station you stop. Isn't it? This is the same cast of characters. Isn't it? Pretty much. I had a private one time got so mad he knocked the first one out.
And as I mentioned before, busy day and for the Bruins athletics department. 2 basketball games as both of our basketball teams playing for the South Region Championship today down in Jacksonville, Florida. The ladies team playing right now actually against number 1 seeded Pensacola Christian College. As this one roped into the right center field gap. That's going to be dangerous. Riley Ramsey having to chase it down. And the relay, a good job that time by Ramsey to get it in quickly as the runner goes from first to third. So a no-out double. Runners on second and third now for Carolina. And that'll bring in Matt Tulloch, the catcher for Carolina. As Carolina trying to extend their slim lead. Wallach comes back and just misses the strike zone on that one, 1-0. 2 runs in the top of the first, and then 1 run in the bottom of the first. That's been our scoring so far in game 1 of this doubleheader. This one down and outside. Good job by Barcena to keep that one in front. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs here in the top of the fourth. This is low and outside, so Wallach finds himself down 3-0 in this count. This one inside, so Tulloch will be aboard. Bases loaded, and that'll bring up Avery Adams. Wallach out of the stretch, comes back with a changeup right down the middle, so strike 1. Early hole here for the Bruins in the fourth. Bases loaded, no outs. Wallach ahead in the count, 0-1. Out of the stretch and delivers. Gets the swinging strike that time from Avery Adams, so 0-2. Good position here for Henry. You ask some of the players and coaches, he's kind of got a nickname of a bulldog, they said. Just he has been a worker for the Bruins. Actually, wasn't really a pitcher in high school, and the team has kind of made him a pitcher ever since he came to the Bruins. Just noticed his arm strength and his ability to control the baseball. That slow roller to Twitty on the third base side is going to be an error on David Twitty, and that's going to allow Carolina to score again. Our score 3-1 here in the top of the fourth. Wallach able to come back, get the called strike. Breaking ball. Not finding that outside corner that time. That looked awful pretty, though, at least from our vantage point. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs here in the fourth. Base is still loaded. This one ripped in between first and second. Scores 1. The relay is not going to score 2, so that's going to make it 4-1. Here in the top of the fourth.
Now batting number 10, Josh Kent. We would take him to the Venetian because we didn't go to the casino downstairs to see all the shopping.
Base is still loaded, still nobody out. This one low and outside. Top of the fourth, 1-1 count. Wallach comes back with the breaking ball outside and high that time. This time low and outside, but this time finding the strike zone. And again, in comparison with the last pitch, I felt like the last one was a little bit better placed. That one a little low on the outside. But again, the umpire 2 feet from it. I'm about 50 feet from it. So this one fouled off behind home plate. So the count stays at 2-2. Still nobody out. Bases loaded. Here in the top of the fourth, Carolina with a 4-1 lead. They've gotten 2 runs so far this inning. Wallach having to work out of a jam here. This one, fastball on the outside, is fouled off. This one smacked towards right field. That one heading towards the wall, and it is gone. A grand slam has just blown this game wide open. One swing of the bat, and we go from 4-1 to 8-1. That one, an absolute shot from Josh Kent.
You just heard
Oh, did they change?
Actually, a pretty touching moment. We actually just talked with Josh's mom, who came over to the broadcast booth and said that actually it's Josh's dad's 67th birthday today, and he's not really doing well from a health perspective. And so I know that's a special moment for Josh to have that opportunity. He clears the bases for Carolina, and she said, came over and said that she knows that he's got Dad on his heart today. And so special moment for Josh on the grand slam there to give Carolina a 8-1 advantage here in the fourth inning. And that'll bring up Logan Conklin. Still nobody out here in the top of the fourth. And Bruins trying to work back out of this. Again, had some difficulties early on this inning as Carolina's been very aggressive on the bats. It's going to be on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. And again, the key thing for a pitcher, having been in these situations before, both as a catcher and a pitcher and other places, is as hard as it is to do, you have got to shake off that last at bat and come right back and pretend that it's a 0-0 game and say, we've got to get this batter, we've got to get this next guy, and then hopefully get some momentum and get out of this inning, and then hope your bats can come back alive as well. This one fouled off towards the first base side, and that'll find its way into the bleachers. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Logan Conklin. And he is able to check his swing, so 3 balls, 2 strikes in the fourth. And that's going to be ball 4. So that puts Logan Conklin on first.
Now batting number 20, Dart Hawthorne.
Bruins do have some action up in the bullpen. And again, what was a 2-1 inning coming into the fourth is now an 8-1 score for Carolina, courtesy of a grand slam from Josh Kent. This one skied into the left center field gap. Going to be difficult for Riley Ramsey to get there. He's not going to be able to do so. Carolina waving the runner around, going to third base, but not in time. That one over towards the wall, and that's going to be a slide-in triple. And actually, the ball getting into the dugout on that near third base side, so that's actually going to be an inside-the-park home run from Dart Hawthorne. It's a triple, but then the extra base on the error. And just like that, it's 9, or it should be 10-1. That'll be it for Henry Wallach on the day, and Bruins will bring in a relief pitcher. Try to stop the bleeding here in the fourth. It's Daniel Williams who will take over in relief. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back. 10-1 here in the fourth.
Now pitching for the Royals, or the Bruins, excuse me. Number 3, Daniel Williams.
Daniel Williams taking over in relief for the Bruins on the mound. It is 10-1 here in inning number 4. Just got a update from the women's basketball game. 27-17, your Bruins are leading over number 1 seeded Pensacola Christian. Again, a team they lost to twice this year. But for the Lady Bruins, it's win or go home. This is their season. So if they win, they are able to win the South and advance to the national tournament. If they lose, just based upon power rating, I just see a very tough road for them to get an at-large bid. And it's going to be a safe call on first. And again, Zach Burke was over at first, but kind of was dancing around the bag and was trying to get his foot on the bag and unfortunately not able to get there in time. So that'll be another error on the Bruins, and Kevin Greenwood is aboard on first. Still nobody out here in what has been a tough 4th inning for the Bruins. And Williams coming back with a strike. Greenwood takes his lead at first. And that one outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Williams on the pickoff move. 1-1 here, and our score, again, still 10-0. This one gets away from Barcena, but not enough to advance the runner. 2 balls, 1 strike. Finds that outside corner that time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still nobody out here in the 4th. Williams working out of the stretch. This one chopped towards second base. Wood is able to go over to Conley Burke in time for out number 1. So that's the first out of the inning for the Bruins. 1 down. And that will bring up Brian Deegan. Williams able to get the first out of the inning, and it comes at a good time for the Bruins, as again this 4th inning has been a tough one. 8 runs here scored in the 4th inning. And what was a 2-1 lead has turned into a 10-1 advantage. Outside corner finds it once again for a called strike. Williams back over to first, keeps the runner in check. Shot into the hole here, and unfortunately going to find its way through. So another base hit and another runner aboard for Carolina University here in the fourth. They now have runners on first and second. That'll bring up number 15, Matt Tulloch. And that's going to hit Tulloch, actually, so that'll load the bases once again. And Avery Adams takes his chance in the batter's box once again.
Now batting number 4, Avery Adams.
This one fouled off into the screen behind home plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chop towards the third base dugout. And in foul territory, it's 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the fourth. And it has been a tough inning for the Bruins. They came into the top of the fourth trailing 2-1. It's now 10-1. Part of that was courtesy of a grand slam by Josh Kent. And since then, Carolina has batted through the lineup, and again, they have a sizable lead right now. This one foul tipped. That's going to be secured by Barcena, and that'll be out number 2. As Williams able to come back with a strikeout. So now 2 outs, bases loaded. And top of the order in Dion Tubbs coming up.
Well, she mentioned we were surprised how much we'd like to play since.
That one low and in the dirt. Comes back with a breaking ball, and again, I'm not sure where that missed. Williams high and outside. Base is still loaded here. 3 balls, 1 strike. And that's going to hit the batter. And that's going to put Tubbs aboard, and that'll score another runner. So that makes it 11-1.
Now batting number 10, Josh Kent.
And Josh Kent, who already had the big swing of the fourth inning, and now has another opportunity with the bases loaded. And we're actually going to have a balk here as Williams stuttered a little bit on his delivery, and unfortunately that's going to bring in a run. And now it makes it 12-1, excuse me. Williams comes back with a strike. Still 2 outs. The Bruins just want to get out of this inning. This one ripped into left field. That is going to land safely, and 2 more runners come across. So Josh Kent with 6 RBIs in 1 inning. And that makes it 14-1 here in the 4th.
That is literally my biggest fear. Was that I was just going to keep saying Royals over and over again, and I was like 6 months away. And I'm pretty proud about that. I wish I had gone
Still here in the 4th. It is 14-1. Yeah, you read that right. On your webcast screen, and 12 runs coming across here in the 4th inning. Bruins just wanting desperately to get that 3rd out here, as this one outside. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on first. Josh Kent has been the player of the inning for Carolina. Hit a grand slam and then just drove in 2 more with that last swing. Williams goes upstairs this time. 3 balls and 1 strike. And Williams able to come back to even the count, or excuse me, make it a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. With 2 outs. Logan Conklin, the batter. This one roped into foul territory, and that'll land in the bleachers. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Still 2 outs here in the 4th. Williams trying to go outside, and Conklin not going to chase. So that'll put another base runner aboard. So runners on first and second. And that will be Dart Hawthorne coming back up. He had an inside the park home run his last at bat. Swinging strike. Low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swinging strike on Hawthorne. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. And again, the Bruins just looking to get out of what has been a hard inning for them. Williams coming back. This one low and inside. It's halftime at the South Region Championship down in Florida, and your Lady Bruins leading number 1 Pensacola 42-32 at halftime. So, as I mentioned before, the Lady Bruins, this is their season. They win today, they go on to nationals. They lose today, likely it will be it. And that swinging strike finally gets the Bruins out of the inning. Carolina able to bring 12 runs home in that top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Our score 14-1 here at Conestee.
Now batting, number 37, David Twitty.
Bottom of the 4th here at Conestee Park as Bruins trying to get some offense going. As David Twitty leads things off for BJU. They trail 14-1 here in the 4th. And this one skied towards third base. Over under it is Grant Harris, and that's the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Zach Burke for the Bruins. 3-4-5 coming up for BJU.
Now batting
this inning.
14, Zach Burke.
Zach Burke takes his first swings, or excuse me, his second swing of the game. This one drops inside, ball 1. And that is high and outside, so ball 2. 2-0 to Zach Burke. Upstairs, 3 balls and no strikes. And that's ball 4. So 4 straight pitches puts Zach Burke aboard. And that'll give the Bruins a base runner here in the bottom of the 4th. And that'll bring up Daniel Barcena, the catcher.
Number 12, Daniel Barcena.
And that's going to actually hit Barcena, so that's going to send Burke to second, Barcena on first. And that'll bring up Cole Pearson. So Bruins getting a little bit of life here in the bottom of the fourth. Hoping they can maintain it here again. Last night they were down 15-4.
Number 38, Cole Pearson.
Going all the way into the ninth inning, and the Bruins scoring 7 runs in the bottom of the ninth. But unfortunately the rally was too late as they fell 15-11 in the opening game of this series. This one roped to right field. And Burke going to stay on third. And that'll load the bases. So the one-out single loads the bases for Conley Burke. Burke goes after the first pitch right down the third base line, and that'll bring in Zach Burke to score. Bruins begin to chip away at this lead. It's 14-2 now here in the bottom of the fourth. I was not a part of that in between innings, but as a coach, oftentimes the best thing you can do when you see the scoreboard what it is to bring it back in and say, guys, listen, you're not going to make it all up at once. We do it one run, one batter at a time. And so far this inning, the Bruins have been able to do that. A walk, hit by a pitch, single to right, and now Burke singles it into left field. And they still have the bases loaded, and Daniel Wood the batter. Whitaker still the pitcher for Carolina, but you're starting to see some action in the Carolina bullpen here in the bottom of the fourth. Whitaker with another strike. This one high and outside. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Bases loaded here in the fourth. And that's upstairs, so that'll walk home another batter. And that'll make the score 14-3. And now we're going to the bullpen. That'll be the day for Caleb Whitaker. Relief pitcher coming in for Carolina. And this will bring in Lucas Shannon, the relief pitcher for Carolina. And Caleb Whitaker ends his day after giving up 3 runs in 4 innings. Our score 14-3. We'll take a quick break for the pitching change.
Now pitching for Carolina, number 29, Lucas Shannon.
So with one swing of the bat, that's how you want to come on in relief. As that one swung on, hit right up the middle, but a double play to end the inning. Bruins are able to get 2 back, but they trail 14-3 going into the top of the 5th. Back here for the top of the 5th, 14-3 our score. As Kevin Greenwood, the batter. Again, this is game 1 of our 2-game doubleheader. This one flied towards right field. Twitty able to settle under it, and
Now batting number 18, Grant Harris.
and that is out number 1. That'll bring up Grant Harris, and he fouls this one off behind the plate. And that'll find its way out of the stadium. Again, Bruins will wrap up their home series. They'll be on the road on Tuesday down to Columbia for a single-game series down against the CIU Rams, who are the defending NCCAA World Series champions. And then they'll be back home next weekend for a 3-game series against Toccoa Falls. Of course, we'll have those games and recaps available for you at bjubruins.com. I want to thank all of our sponsors who help make this broadcast possible. Chick-fil-A of Taylor's, FCI Insurance, Ronald Blue Trust, Upstate Granite Solutions, and many more. This one bouncing in fair territory, so Barcena with a good presence of mind to pop out of his stance and grab that one before it could drift foul. And he rifles it over to first base for the second out of the inning. Brian Deegan, the left fielder for Carolina, will come up next. And if you're the Bruins, this is where you want to, or this is how you want to bounce back defensively. When you can come out after a really, really tough 4th inning and potentially go 1-2-3, that gives you a good bit of confidence to go back into the lineup and say, okay, hey, maybe we can start chipping away at this and see if we can battle back. This one roped into foul territory. That will be out of play for another foul ball.
And hubble so much and also have the money to do that. Yeah, honestly, a lot of our travel was because we moved from point A to point B, and you know, the Army pays us for that mileage and hotels. So we would take
This one fouled once again. balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 5th. It's outside and high. This one in between first and second, so the inning stays alive as a 2-out single by Brian Deegan. And that'll bring up Matt Tulloch.
Batting number 15, Matt Tulloch.
Strike right down the heart of the plate. And Daniel Williams coming in relief for Henry Wallach, who made it through 4 innings, or the beginning of, I should say, 3 innings, and then the inning that the Bruins would like to forget in this game, in that 4th inning. This one rifled down to second base, and mainly Barcena just kind of trying to keep the runner honest on second. Still 2 outs. But again, Carolina able to score 12 runs in that 4th inning. And that makes our score 14-3 as you see it on your webcast screen. This one outside and low. This one hit right back up the middle. It's going to find its way through. And the runner is going to score from second. And so that'll make it 15-3.
Now batting number 4, Avery Adams.
Then we went through the Rockies. During the 90, 95,
15-3 is our score. Tulloch takes his lead at first, and this is Avery Adams back up. This one gets past Barcena, so Tulloch will advance to second on the pass ball. This one low in the dirt. That's low once again, so 3 balls and no strikes. And Barcena will come out to talk to Daniel Williams. Again, the Bruins were able to get the first 2 outs of the inning, but Carolina keeping it alive here in the top of the 5th. outside. That's ball 4. And that'll bring up the top of the order in Dion Tubbs.
Now batting number 3, Dion Tubbs.
But they were given tours and they have a bunch of statues like great minutes in history.
Williams comes back with a strike to begin this at bat. This one inside, going to hit the dirt, but Barcena keeps it in front.
Then we went to Yellowstone. Okay.
This is going to be fouled off.
Devil's Tower. And we hit that zoo again. What was so special about the zoo?
And strike 3 called. So the Bruins able to get out of the inning. Our score 15-3 going to the bottom of 5. Bottom of the 5th in game 1 of our 2-game doubleheader here at Conestee Park. Riley Ramsey will lead things off. This one's fouled off to the third base side.
Now batting, number 5, Riley Ramsey.
And we're getting updates as well from down in Florida. The ladies basketball team still leading 57-48 in the third quarter. They are trying to pull the upset against the number 1 ranked team in the country in the South Region Championship. That's a strike 2 called. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Riley Ramsey. And strike 3 on the swing. First out of the inning. Lucas Shannon in his second inning of relief for Carolina.
Now batting, number 35, 36, Colby Hogan.
Colby Hogan will come out for BJU.
Getting off the train, the guy's like, we're on strike. I'm like, what? In the morning. What? You're on strike? I'm like, yes, we're on strike now. I'm like, so we could be stuck here for days? He's like, no, the strike is over. You already know when it's
This one fouled off to begin the at-bat. No balls, one strike. If you're just joining us, it was 2-1 early on. Carolina getting the 2 runs in the top of the first, and then Bob Jones coming back with a run in the bottom of the first. But that 4th inning proved to be the tough inning for the Bruins to overcome as Carolina scored 14 runs in that 4th inning. Or excuse me, 12 runs in that 4th inning. They were able to get another one back in the 5th, and that is what has made our score the way that it is, 15-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. Again, a little bit of a deja vu from last night as the Bruins fell behind 15-4 in last night's game.
pronouns, all good, and they're you do whatever you say. It's not that me. Like, I was telling my mom about it, and my mom was like, so is she gonna get me time?
This one chopped.
They are hiring, but
2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Again, in our doubleheader, we only play 7 innings in a Saturday doubleheader. Game 2 will get underway about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. This one chopped towards second base, fielded in time over to first. And that'll be out number 2 here in the bottom of the 5th.
and I've had 5 kids. Somebody owes me 60 months. And I would like that back.
David Twitty is up for the Bruins to try to keep this inning alive. There's 2 outs.
Now batting, number 37, David Twitty.
15. 60 weeks. I would like that back today, please.
Twitty chops this one towards shortstop. Going to be a tough play, but over to first. Got him on the tag. And no, they're going to say he was off the bag and didn't get the tag down in time. So Twitty able to stay aboard and keep the inning alive. And that'll bring up Zach Burke.
Now batting, number 14, Zach Burke.
Runner takes his lead at first. Shannon working out of the stretch and delivers, and Burke going to foul this one over the fence on that first base side.
What my wife's job is. Yes, she does have to learn stuff. Like she has to learn and understand the process and be able to like that. We got that. But literally, once she does that, her job is answer emails, maybe sometimes answer phone calls like 3 or 4 times a day. Take 40,000 It's not a hard job.
Inside and low.
Like, what? Yes, you do want that job. Actually, I would. Yeah, that'd be my dream job.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Burke, the batter, ropes this one into right field, and that's going to land for a single. Runners on first and second now, and Daniel Barcena, the batter.
I remember you, but I must have talked to him.
Daniel Barcena trying to keep the inning alive for the Bruins. They have runners on first and second. That is going to find that outside corner, strike one. This umpire loves that outside corner. But, as we say all the time on the broadcast, the one thing you ask for in officiating crew is consistency. And if you are constantly getting that outside corner, then you learn to adjust as a player. And believe me, I played catcher for well over a decade in baseball, and that was the most frustrating, is when one inning you'd get that outside corner and the next inning you wouldn't get that outside corner. Very hard to make those adjustments as a pitcher-catcher combination. So the officiating crew doing a good job today of staying consistent in the strike zone. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Shannon working out of the stretch. And this one low, trying to get Barcena to chase at the inside pitch, and Barcena doesn't oblige. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 5th. Outside, ball 2, evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. This one low and inside, full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And a foul tip, but the catcher not able to secure it. So had he held on, that would have ended the inning. But it's a full count still, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The runners had gone, so again, likely we'll be doing the same here with 3 and 2 and 2 outs. Runners go. This one on that outside corner, but not going to be called this time. A little too far outside. And it's a walk. Bases loaded now for the Bruins as Cole Pearson coming up.
Now batting number 38, Cole Pearson.
Bruins have bases loaded. Opportunity to make a dent in this 15-3 lead. Pearson roping this one to second base, and unfortunately the Bruins will leave them loaded. We go to the top of the 6th. Our score 15-3 here at Conestee. Top of the 6th inning here at Conestee Park. And Josh Kent, who has been the hero for Carolina in this game. He hit a grand slam in that 4th inning and then hit a 2-run single in that same inning. So 6 RBIs in 1 inning. He has provided a lot of the scoring for Carolina in this game and has accounted for 6 of those runs, of those 15 that are up on the board. One ball, one strike. Strike 2. Daniel Williams in his 3rd inning of relief.
They talk to you about jumping out of airplanes and killing the enemy. Yeah. You're privates. That's what you got to do. I did it as a private. Everybody does it. Most of those guys would end up on what they call internet guard because we have one place where you get paid.
Ball on the outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Williams comes back with a low fastball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Women's basketball team still with a lead, 64-48, as they are in the 4th quarter now and on the verge of pulling off a very dramatic upset in the South Region Championship. And Williams able to come back with a fastball right down Broadway, and that gets Josh Kent on strikes and the first out of the inning. And this pitch on the outside to begin the at-bat, ball 1. Logan Conklin takes his next at-bat for Carolina. This one in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. Inside and high. 3 balls, no strikes. Williams comes back with a called strike on that inside corner. 3 balls, 1 strike. This one fouled off. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Again, in our doubleheaders, we only play 7. So Bruins running out of time here in game 1 of our doubleheader. It's game 2 of the series. They fell yesterday. 15-11 was the final score. Your BJU Bruins still winless on the year at 0-5 to begin the 2022 season. This one lined down the third base side, but is going to drift into foul territory. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. And 1 out. Williams out of the stretch, and that one gets away from him. Ball 4. And that'll put Conklin on first and bring up looks like we have a pinch hitter coming in here. That is number 28, William Darter.
pinch runner, number 33, Michael Williams.
So a couple of substitutions for Carolina. So runner on first. It's Logan.
The runner is 33. The batter is
Okay, Michael Williams has come into pinch run for Logan Conklin, and then it is William Darter who is pinch hitting. This one rifled down into second, and sliding in safely was Williams. So credit the stolen base. Runner on second, one out here in the sixth. And we have a 1-0 count. And this one fouled towards the first base dugout, evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Swinging strike. Count moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes now. This one right back up the middle. That one tipped by Williams. Going to have to get it over in time. Good job by Daniel Wood to field the batted down ball. That one going right back up the middle, and Williams able to kind of block it at first. And it bounced off of him, and Wood able to corral it and get it over to first in time.
Pinch hitter, number 39, Ian Laird.
Ian Laird coming in as another pinch hitter for Carolina in the top of the sixth here. And it starts off with a strike. So runner on third. Williams out of the stretch once again. This one inside corner, strike 2. 2 outs. No balls, 2 strikes here in the top of the sixth. And our score 15-3 here at Conestee. Game 1 of our 2-game doubleheader today. 3-game series against Carolina this weekend. And it's going to be a swinging strike on Laird, and that will end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Our score 15-3.
Now batting number 9, Conley Burke.
Conley Burke will get things going for the Bruins in the bottom of the 6th. They've got a lot of leg work to do to make up the deficit, but if you watched last night's game to begin this series, it was a 15-4 lead for Carolina before Bob Jones scored 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, but just came up short on the rally. This one hit down the line at third base. It's going to be foul ball. That looked awful close to that third base line, but the umpire ruling it foul, so no balls, 2 strikes to begin the bottom of the 6th for Conley Burke. Again, we only play 7 innings in these double headers, so potentially just one more at bat. And that's going to be high and outside, trying to get Burke to chase. It will be 7-8-9 for the Bruins in this inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Burke. This pitch on the way, chipped towards the third base side. Good scoop. That time gets it over to first in time. And that's the first out of the inning. Great job by Grant Harris that time. That was a difficult scoop at third, but he's able to corral it and get it over to first in time for the first out of the inning. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th, and that will bring up number 29, Daniel Wood, the second baseman for BJU. Shannon starts off another inning of relief for Carolina with a strike on Wood. This one low and outside. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Outside corner. Strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Wood. And a swinging strike, but it's going to be in the dirt. It will be a put out. So strike 3, strikeout there for Daniel Wood, and that's the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Adrian Lasval.
Now batting number 11, Adrian Lasval.
A strike to begin the at-bat. Again, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. One ball, 1 strike in the bottom of the 6th. And Lasval actually going to call a timeout before that pitch was delivered. Again, a lot of times the batter, as they're preparing, if a pitcher takes too long in his cadence, oftentimes they will just signal or call for timeout, and it's really a matter of if the umpire hears and or gives it to him. Lasval going to send this one into deep center field. That one is going to get past the center fielder, and Lasval has a stand-up double here in the bottom of the 6th. That'll bring up number 5, Riley Ramsey, in the top of the order for the Bruins.
Now batting number 5, Riley Ramsey.
outside.
My dad's been a few times on business, and I've driven through it, but I've never stopped to eat there or stopped to spend any time there. I have been in pretty much all the major cities in the Northeast except for Philly, except for the major cities in Pennsylvania. And I want to go so bad. Pittsburgh, you gotta go to Pittsburgh. I know. I want to go.
Swinging strike.
I want to go everywhere.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Where we raised. We're outside of people to be able to see these everywhere. That's a shame. Is that anything I've been everywhere? Why is that? There you go. Because you were raised on the wrong side of the states. Oh no, West Side's the best side.
The Ben Franklin Institute.
Okay. Is that like a museum? Is that a library? It's a science museum.
And Ramsey swinging that time, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. Still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Lasval kept the inning alive with a 2-out double. Ramsey trying to keep it alive once again as well. Shannon on the 1-2. Got him swinging. And that'll end the inning. We go to the top of the 7th, 15-3 our score.
Now batting number 21, Chubbs Hawthorne.
Chubbs Hawthorne is going to pinch hit here in the top of the 7th to get things going for Carolina. And two 2-0 now to begin the at-bat. Williams, another inning of relief. This one dribbled towards the third base side. Twitty over to first, and it's going to get past Burke at that first base side. And actually, this one is going to be a foul ball. So it went actually off of Hawthorne. And so, again, because that ball went down and hit off the foot and then went out, it is a foul ball even though it went into fair territory. So erase all of that. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. And we'll do it again here. Williams in another inning of relief for the Bruins. Looking to try to close things out here. Again, we only play 7 innings in these doubleheaders. So Bruins hoping to go 1-2-3 here, and then we'll have one more opportunity to erase a 12-run deficit. This one roped towards center field, hanging. Ramsey going to have to let it settle in, and that'll drop for a single. So Hawthorne with a single to lead things off.
Now there is this thing you can only get it in certain places in Philly called.
Now batting number 19, Cade Fletcher.
And you got to go to two places.
Cade Fletcher now pinch hitting for Carolina.
Now pinch running number 30, Larry Franks.
I knew of it, but yeah. You ever heard of it? You could say
This is Fletcher now pinch hitting here as Coach Jamie Lowe going to the bench here, especially with the runs being what it is and the score being what it is. Going into the reserves here in game one of this doubleheader. Again, unless you have played it, these doubleheaders are a long day of baseball. So obviously with the score being what it is, an opportunity to get some of your players some playing time and also conserve some of your starters for the next game. And again, we will get underway about 30 minutes after the conclusion of the first one, whenever that may be. So no balls, 2 strikes to begin this at-bat. Runner takes his lead at first. Still no outs here in the top of the 7th. Swinging strike. And that will be out number 1 on the strikeout.
There's this place
That'll bring up Matt Tulloch.
15, Matt Tulloch.
This one roped towards the right center field gap. Settling under it is Twitty. And that will be out number 2 here in the 7th.
Now batting number 4, Avery Adams.
Avery Adams will be up next for Carolina.
there's like, and I don't know if you've been to the specific place. Don't worry about the specific place, but like there's this little place called Best to Watch. Philly cheesesteak. I think it's pretty nice. It's actually nice. Pretty decently thick bread.
And actually, we're going to have a pinch hitter now.
I've driven by it.
sorry,
and thought
got it.
about
I thought-
stopping. Yeah, the food's
It's a strike on the inside corner, and this is
Pinch hitter,
Santana.
Abdil Santana Carrasquillo.
Santana in on the pinch hit. This one roped towards shortstop. Conley Burke going to get over to second in time, and that'll end the inning. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Bruins have one more chance to try to make a comeback. It's 15-3 here in game 1 of the doubleheader.
Now pitching number 34, Joff Withers.
Colby Hogan will lead things off for the Bruins here in the bottom of the 7th. Last opportunity for the Bruins to try to keep this game going. This one popped up over on that first base side. Going to be difficult play, and that one's going to get into the bleachers on the first base side for a foul ball. So again, it is 2-3-4 for the Bruins in their lineup. But they have a massive deficit to overcome. 15-3 is the score here in the bottom of the 7th. Again, last night had this very same, almost identical score going into the final inning. And the Bruins put 7 on the board in the final inning to fall 15-11 in that game. This one popped up just past second base, but going over and actually not able to corral it is Santana. So that's going to land. Credit the error to Santana, but more importantly, it puts Hogan on first.
David Twitty.
Twitty coming up now for the Bruins with a runner on first. Again, we'll have about a 30-minute break between these two games. And we're going to take a quick break for the injury timeout. Santana, again, that pop fly kind of hitting him as it came down. Not sure if he got it in the side of the head or on a shoulder or something like that, but the umpire and coaching staff just making sure that he's okay.
Food trucks, you get some of the best food. They do it on Friday.
Well, we went and we were getting food from TikTok. I got a fully cheesesteak, so did my brother-in-law, and we get them back.
Back underway here as this one low and in the dirt.
The grill, because I'm pretty sure they just took the charcoal from that and put it on the sandwich. Like, that meat was charred to a crisp.
I was gonna say, what drives me nuts is when I order a Philly cheesesteak. And even though I'm not from there, you just give me like just regular.
And we have a final from Jacksonville as the Lady Bruins pulling off the upset. 83-74 was the final score. Your Lady Bruins are the 2022 South Region champions in an improbable upset victory over the number 1 ranked team in the country, Pensacola Christian College. What an effort for Coach LeVere and his crew as they win their 3rd South Region Championship in program history. Congrats to the Lady Bruins on an improbable victory down in Jacksonville. They will be heading to the Division II National Tournament March 7th through the 10th.
Batting at number 14, Zach Burke.
And Zach Burke now coming up, that's the 9th through the 12th, the national tournament. So they will represent the South and likely may even see Pensacola again, as Pensacola, again, I said, the number 1 team in the country, likely going to get an at-large bid to the national tournament. But congrats to the Lady Bruins as they will be dancing in the national tourney in Joplin, Missouri in a couple of weeks. Runners on first and second, bottom of the 7th here. One more opportunity here for the Bruins baseball team to get back into this game. That one low and in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. This one skied towards center field. And it's going to be caught for a pop-up out for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Daniel Barcena.
Now batting at number 12, Daniel Barcena.
One out, runners on first and second. Barcena the batter. Runner going towards third and got him in the steal attempt. It's a great throw down that time by Tolik. This one skied towards center field. Difficult play for the center fielders. It continues to carry and is going to drop. This one going to be cut off by the first baseman, and that's going to be Twitty all the way around to score.
Now batting at number 38, Cole Pearson.
And that makes it 15-4 here in the bottom of the seventh. 2 outs. And Barcena's double brings around a run. Bruins hoping for a dramatic 2-out rally here and seeing if Cole Pearson can keep it alive. Bottom of the seventh, that one low and outside. Fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Inside breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes now with 2 outs. This one fouled off.
I literally had my hands up. I was like,
That one fouled towards us, actually. We have to circle that back on the webcast. That actually was pretty close to the camera as well, so. This one roped towards the first base side, fielding it cleanly over to first, and didn't get the foot down in time, so Pearson beats out the infield single.
PFPs are really hard.
And that will bring up Conley Burke to try to keep this 2-out rally alive, 15-4.
Number 9, Conley Burke.
Were you born and raised in Pittsburgh, or did you get traded there like Jack, like the guy from the 42? Pittsburgh. It started as Pennsylvania.
This one ripped into left field, so another runner coming around as Conley Burke singles to left, and Barcena scores. Make it 15-5 now. So as I said, the Bruins were down 15-3, and much like they did last night, getting a little bit of life here in the final inning.
Now batting, number 29, Daniel Wood.
Daniel Wood coming up now for the Bruins. Lasval on deck. This one hit towards the second base side. Santana gets past him. And that'll load the bases on the single. So Cole Pearson keeps things alive. The 2-out rally, or excuse me, Daniel Wood keep things alive. And now Adrian Lasval continues this bottom of the seventh. Still 2 outs.
Now batting, number 11, Adrian Lasval.
I can tell you that our second game will likely not get underway at 3:30. This one's going to be popped up, and that should do it, and it will. So the Bruins leave them loaded in the bottom of the seventh. 15-5 is how game 1 of this doubleheader is going to finish. Your final score here from Conestee Park. We'll get back underway for game 2 of the doubleheader coming up in about 30 minutes. That's going to do it for us here at Conestee Park. I'm Johnny Gamet saying thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here in about 30 minutes for Game 2 of the doubleheader. Your final score for Game 1, Carolina 15, Bruins 5. We did want to give you one update from Florida. Our Lady Bruins basketball team upset number 1 seeded Pensacola Christian College to win the South Region Championship. So let's hear it for our Lady Bruins.